If Rainbow Bright and Dorothy went skipping through a field of sunflowers and went to sleep beneath a rainbow and woke up eating candy canes and vomiting rainbows, it might be similar to Jacques Houdek's Eurovision 2017 performance. Should we talk about it? Let's do this! You guys, this is crazy as hell, and this is why people watch Eurovision, for amazing, amazing performances like this that are at once crazy, but musically sound, really divisive, and yet sure to find fans who absolutely love it. I don't even know how to describe this. Basically, he's singing a duet for one. When he's looking one way, he's an operatic ballad singer. When he's looking the other way, he's an inspirational R&B ballad, dear honey. It's just this heady mix, and the LEDs are beautiful. Inspirational mountain, sun rising, purples and yellows, and later there's a rainbow and a sea of sunflowers. There are instrumentalists, you know, the cello, the violin. It gives it that classy feel. I don't know if I would say classy. It gives it a symphonic feel. I maybe sound like I'm throwing shade, but I actually really enjoyed this, and my mouth was on the floor. I think I scratched my chin because it was like, because you can't believe someone has made this vision come to life. You know, he hasn't been on the preview tour, and I think that's because he was saving his money to pay for all the pyro, because there's a lot of pyro going on. In any case, Chris.
I literally can't stop smiling because it's bonkers, but in such a good way. Yeah. Like, there's just so much going on. There's his face in the background, and one is Jacques and one is opera Jacques, and you know, the sunflowers that rise up, the rainbows, and you know, I think that using the rainbow is obviously a very interesting choice. There's obviously been a lot of talk about Jacques in the past. I think this is him trying to put all those rumours and statements to rest effectively. But I just enjoy it. It's just enjoyable. I think that he sounds really, really good. The pyro comes at just the right time in the song. You know, they have the dueling violinists. They've thought every second of this rehearsal and performance out, and it's very, very well done. The ending is a little bit of an anticlimax though, so he kind of has the final note, and then it cuts to the violinist who just plays the last note or so, but they haven't really focused enough on the violinist for that to work. I feel like you would need, you know, make it obvious that he is Jacques' friend, maybe, or something like that. But otherwise, you know, the backing singers come forward, which obviously, again, we haven't seen lots of backing singers on stage, so that helps it stand out. Just really, really enjoyable.
It's a big stage, and unlike so many artists, he's managed to fill it with these backing vocalists and instrumentalists.
Didn't think you were about to say that.
And I like how they touch him at one point towards the end, signifying the my friend concept. Yeah. And I see your point completely, totally fair. I quite like the quiet ending, moving to the instrumentalists, though. You know, the passing of time, the passing away, the darkness. It's just a sweet musical ending. For me, it worked.
There are elements of this that work very well. Like, I think it's particularly effective at the bridge when the violin or the cellists come forward and do their solo, and it's nearly as if they're battling each other to see who can do it the best. And then at one point he's going from his R&B vocals to his operatic vocals, and there's a giant projection of two faces of him, one in kind of an opera's tuxedo and the other in more casual clothes, and they're singing, their lips are matching his as he's singing, and so it looks like they're singing. And yeah, but there's a lot of it I think that doesn't work. For instance, at the very start, there's an extremely close-up shot of him as he's doing his little Einstein quote. And then also, I do not get the imagery of a field full of sunflowers and then all this fire falling down from the sky. Like, that to me kind of spells out the apocalypse and dystopian, that a dystopian nightmare, that fire is going to burn all these flowers, and then the rainbow is on top of the fire. The imagery is very mixed up.
Honey, friendship can help you fight the biggest flames, the hope of the sunflowers, the optimism, fight against all the heat.
It's the sun, it's the heat coming out, it's a rain of pyro, giving life to the sunflowers, hopefully.
As opposed to, you know, starting a fire and causing third-degree burns. The overwhelming feeling I'm left with is happiness. And we talked about Romania yesterday making us smile, and this also makes you smile. It's not as cartoony as Romania, and I think it's hard to compare them because they're musically so different, but I think this has a lot of the same positive aspects that Romania had.
I think Romania is playing it for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Jacques is playing this for fun. I mean, everybody here was laughing, and I'm not sure that it was... Part of it, I think, towards the end was laughing along, but some of it I almost felt it was a bit like, oh, we're laughing at what's happening, because it's so camp and cliche and cheesy that actually it does maybe go over that boundary, whereas Romania kind of kept it all together and it was just fun and enjoyable. This maybe crosses that line.
I keep thinking of that t-shirt with the cat with like the spectacles and like rainbow eyes or rainbows coming out of its mouth, and that shirt went viral. In any case, let's go around and say if we think this is going to the final with an explanation.
I think it will do better than Belgium 2014, which is its closest comparison, I think, Axel Hersu and his mother.
Oh no.
But I said I think it will do better. But
that did really bad.
Yes. But I think it's just too confusing and too much of a mindfuck for it to qualify. Because I think while the juries might appreciate his voice, they won't appreciate the tomfoolery that's going on stage.
I do think that it's very difficult. My first reaction was immediate qualifier. Now I'm not that sure, because I do think that if any song is going to get that, oh, this is fun, happy vote from the public, it probably will be Romania. But I definitely can see this having fans. I think it will have just enough to get into the final, but it's going to be a close run thing.
I think this is going to find a lot of support with the televote. I still have no idea how the jury will react. You've got to respect his vocals, though. We haven't really touched on this. His vocals were on point, and going from baritone to falsetto, that's very, very difficult. It's shocking.
I mean, the juries didn't appreciate César. That's the thing that I keep thinking back to. They really crucified César in 2013, and I think that it might be a similar thing.
I feel like this is a bit more radio friendly, even if it's still not necessarily the most radio friendly song.
Yeah, and it's staged a lot less over the top. I mean, César was perhaps the most over the top staging we've seen in forever. This is pretty over the top, but it's not. It doesn't hit that, so maybe. I'm
keeping the faith. I said this was going through a few weeks ago, and I remain convinced that it will. I think it will squeak through 8 to 10, maybe, but I'm keeping the faith that we will see Jacques in the final. In any case, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you excited to see big old rainbows, sunflowers, pyro, 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 and two Jacques? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Make sure to subscribe
and like,
and we will see you later.
Bye!